Alright, so I'm doing this video on, Message to the Alchemist, part 4. But first I'm going to be decoding Afro Samurai, the movie. So, first of all, I had just, sat down around New Year's and I had got the chance to, really see this movie. A lot of individuals have been telling me about it for years, actually. To, watch it and, just, it's a great movie, anime and all this. And you know how I am. I don't care about, just things like this. If I ain't watch it when I was like 14, it's a high percentage of chance that I probably won't watch it around the age that I am now. So I had it on my external hard drive. I sat down and watched it. First thing I noticed is beginning of the film, nigga father walk away from him. You feel me? Then his father walk away to get killed by a white man holding 2 revolvers who chops off his head. You feel me? And then the head rolls to the son and then he's crying. You feel me? Afro Samurai. So that's the beginning of the movie. And then after that, he goes on this little quest, you feel me? And they just show, little small segments of the background story. And what you realize is that there's these individuals that want this number 2 headband, which is what his father had. I believe his father had the number 1 headband. And the white man that's fighting him, his father, wants the number 1 headband, as he says in the dialogue, to become a god. And he tells the son, Afro Samurai, that, when you're ready to challenge him, challenge him. So the quest begins for him at a young age, and he runs across a lot of individuals who are beating him down and all this. But what you don't realize about this shit is that it's a subtle way of showing you history. This is a subtle way of showing you your history in, Asia as a black man. A lot of people don't peep this. So there's only 2 people, a black man and his black son in this whole movie. You have one black man with braids that walks into the bar. But other than that, there's these black men right here. They run across a white man holding 2 revolvers. This is supposed to be, Afro Samurai, Asia. And he's a colonizer. His representation is a colonizer, bro. The white man. That's his representation. He has the cowboy hat, 2 revolvers, smoking cigarettes. He's white. He got the white voice, all that. And this is the last one. You feel me? He's the last one. They telling a story in this. See, honestly, this is why I don't like doing these movies, bro. Or just like watching movies purposely, because I know that I'm going to end up decoding it, bro. I know that I'm going to end up decoding it like to a T. So I'm going to continue. After that, he runs across all these statues. And what color are the statues? Oh, you guessed it. Black and blue. Black and blue statues all throughout the film, bro. As we know, blue represents black skin. As we know with Krishnu, Vishnu. You feel me? Like we know. I know from doing research, and I've done videos on this before. With the X-Men series, what the blue means. With Smurfs, you feel me? With these other shows, that they representations of black people. So, they run across statues with blue, blue faces, the angry faces, as I said with the Olmecs, you have the stern faces of the Olmecs, and you have, the Buddha statues that during Shang dynasties and stuff, where they had stern faces as well. That's the Olmec, African, West African, Indigenous African, Asiatic connection. You got gold teeth, bling blau burr, gold eyes, and gold spiral ram Baphomet earrings, you feel me? Or that's really part of the headdress. And there's a lot of them. So, with that being known, he runs across this group of brothers that are plotting against him, you feel me, to take him down. It's 6 brothers. Number 3 is always bumping his heads with his headphones in, actually. I never got the gist of that. Somebody can break down the brothers and their meaning in this. They had this preacher type vibe to them. They talk about amen, not amen, but amen. You feel me? And they're white, apparently. They got these long ass heads. except for number 6, who also uses weapons. And I also want to mention this. Everybody throughout this film against Afro Samurai, a majority of his enemies use weapons like guns, you feel me? Guns that shoot arrows, guns that shoot missiles, guns that shoot machine gun bullets. Like, they all using guns, and they think that they got an advantage over him because of these guns. Understand that. This film is deep, bro. This anime, you feel me? Like, as all animes are. I'm not just gonna point out this one, but, you know, that's just how it goes. So, after that, you know what I'm saying, he is set up by this chick that he used to know, that, you know what I'm saying, was part of this master dojo with him. And she's bad as hell now as a grown woman. They got her looking bad, you feel me? They show her a little waterfall scene. And the whole time she talking to the brothers, you feel me? Those brothers that I shown earlier. She's an agent. But it's also important to note that this girl is the daughter of the dojo in which Afro Samurai and this dude named Geno was a part of. She was, you know, the master's daughter. And Afro Samurai later on ends up smashing this, you know what I'm saying, woman. Like, after she set, you know, later on she set him up to be, you know, killed. But then she, you know, pulled back on it. Because guess what, bro? The black man sexed her so good, she had second thoughts about setting him up. But also, that's funny. That's real funny. This shit funny as hell, bro. But before that, when they show the flashbacks, they show her, like, you know what I'm saying, paying attention to him, like, real closely, you feel me? She's always in front of this nigga face. She was the one with the little teddy bear. And the Geno dude is right next to him all the time. And he would be looking at Afro Samurai while Afro Samurai's not looking, like a jealous glaze. A lot of the times. And even the dialogue in which he sits down and talks to the little girl about why he uses 2 swords. She asks him why he uses 2 swords. And he talks about how it's better than 1 sword. Basically taking shots at Afro Samurai. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the little girl was like, huh? Because he went into super deep detail about it. And he realized, damn, his jealousy took over him. So, you know, that's just one part of that. But after that, they use technology against him. The brothers, after this shit fails, you feel me? They use technology. They use a twin. Understand this? Technology against the black man. They've used weapons. Now they're using technology. They even mention in the dialogue how it's demon energy that's mimicking Afro Samurai. So you have to mimic the Afro Samurai, the black man, with demon energy. Understand that. I'm going to get into all this real soon. And also be aware that this is an android. They call him Afro Droid. You know what I'm saying? They're using technology, as I said before. So he ends up defeating this thing. It comes back like at least 2 more times. He defeats it again. It keeps coming back, you feel me? He eventually destroys it. They take the microchip out the end of it, you know, and that's the end of that one. Then they end up meeting Geno, you know what I'm saying, from the dojo. And a part that they leave out is that their master, you know what I'm saying, their master was looking for the number 2 headband. And I think he actually had it. And he didn't know. Afro Samurai didn't know this whole time until rumors started in the town that someone they're looking for the number 2 headband, the person with it. And it ended up being their master, the one that taught him everything he knew about fighting styles and shit. You feel me? And his whole goal was to get revenge for his father being murdered for the number 1 headband. So Geno looking at this shit, because he's a master worshiper, you feel me? He worshipped his master of the dojo. And also was jealous of Afro Samurai. And also he wanted that little girl as well. Some other shit. Afro Samurai wasn't stunting the little girl. She was always in his face, you feel me? And this nigga Geno shows up wearing the teddy bear that the girl used to always have, you feel me? As his headdress, you feel me? Like of his costume with 2 swords. He ends up, you know, being manipulated, of course, with the use of technology. He says that ever since the dojo happened, it's a massacre that happened, you feel me, at the dojo. Not even at the dojo, but the master ended up confronting Afro Samurai when Afro Samurai asked him about the number 2 headband. He showed him. And now it's time to kill Master, you feel me? But in the midst of that, the whole village of people that wanted the challenge for the number 2 headband ends up showing up. And he ends up, fighting all of them. And a lot of the dojo end up getting killed because of the master having a number 2 headband. And after all of those people are dead, it's just Afro Samurai and the dojo master, you feel me? Afro Samurai ends up slicing him and killing him, you feel me? He was already wounded, you know what I'm saying? The master was already wounded. And a majority of the dojo died. This dude, Geno, ends up falling off a cliff, and he said he'll never forgive Afro Samurai, you feel me? He didn't shake, he didn't grab Afro Samurai's hand for him to bring him up. It was just some jealous rage shit, you feel me? Like, he let this shit get to him to the point to where he blindly, like, said, oh, like, we're your family, you feel me? Like, dude, this nigga saw his whole fucking father get his head chopped off and rolled in front of him. Then they played kickball with it later. Like, bro, come on now, bro. You feel me? It's some old jealous, it reminds me of the American white man from, like, the 1800s, 1716s, Moorish, Empire falling, up until, like, the 2000s, you feel me? Like, that mentality of just how they thought. Really later than that, I should say, like, 1970s or 60s. That white man, you feel me? And that mentality right there of just, like, jealous, like, blatantly, you feel me? Blatant jealousy. And just blaming it all upon you, the black man. Afro Samurai. Knowing that the, master chose the headband in which your father was killed for, you feel me? In which you are going to avenge. He knew this. Geno knew this. That Afro Samurai's thing was to avenge his father's death. But, he tried to make him choose a family side. Like, bro, what the fuck? But yeah, he came back controlled with technology and shit. And Afro Samurai gave him the chance to kill him, and Geno didn't even kill him, you feel me? So, it's deep, man. This whole film is deep, man. And then it comes up to the point to where Afro Samurai, after that, he gets the number 2 headband. He already has that, actually. And he going to fight number 1 for the number 1 headband, the one that killed his father. And this dude is basically... his entrance is similar to Ryzen from Yu Yu Hakusho. If you seen Yu Yu Hakusho, y'all know Ryzen, you feel me? When he was just sitting down, that's similar to what this was like. But what you notice, when he first meets him, I notice a black sun that they talk nothing about. Black sun, bro. The black sun is melanin, for those that don't know. The black sun is melanin, Saturn. You've seen the movie Spawn. That's referring to melanin. You've seen Batman. That's referring to melanin. You've seen Neo from the Matrix. That's referring to melanin. You feel me? You've seen Zorro. That's referring to melanin. Black attire. Black attire. Blade. Referring to melanin. If you've seen Blade, you know that the person in which he was going up against was Dracula. Draconian. You feel me? Draconian. Drake. That's what they called him in the film. Drake. A bloodsucker. Understand that. A bloodsucker. And he's white. And also the whole thing of a vampire is pale skin, needing blood to survive. The sun burns them. It's talking about white people, bro. The Blade movie is talking about white people, bro. It's talking about blacks. You know what I'm saying? Melanin. They telling your story. They talking about the enrichment of melanin, all 4 elements. You feel me? Carbon. They're talking about that. That's what all of these films, the majority of them are referring to. The black sun. The black sun. Saturn. If you want to go there serious, you feel me? Like, you can take it either way you want. It's talking about you. Melanin, being rich. This is what it all refers to. This is what it all comes to. The original man. I'm just going to get into the dialogue. I'm telling y'all to watch this film, this anime. You know what I'm saying? If you won't. I watch everything, not in the sense of really actually sitting down and watching it, but if I happen to sit down and watch it, I catch damn near everything. The dialogue in which Afro Samurai meets this person, you feel me? The number 1 headband, the god. He said that it's time for peace. It's time for men to understand that they are gods. Where God, and pick up where God has failed. Now, who is he talking about? He just defeated a black man for this number 1 headband to become God. So he's talking about the previous guy being a black man that failed. I understand that, bro. You know, when I do videos like this, individuals fail to realize that this is nothing new. This is nothing new at all. This is actually ancient. So, with that being known, they're talking about a time before, an era before. This is the Black Samurai. They're talking about Japan, China, you feel me? The Asiatic connection. We know what they did. I know. If the pictures of South Korea in the 1800s has black people in it, with black, you know, Koreans with black faces, like no paint. This is their actual melanin on their faces in the 1800s. So imagine the 1500s, 1600s. We know about the Ainu tribe. You know what I'm saying? So always have an understanding of things, man. Look deeper into things, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They be telling y'all a story in front of y'all, and y'all don't even be catching it. Y'all just be thinking it's, you know, you be looking at things from a surface level. You feel me? A lot of people look at things from a surface level. It's way deeper than that. It's always, man, if it's promoted to you, it's always done. And even the music, RZA, you feel me? Wu-Tang Clan, they know. Oh, Wu-Tang Clan knows, bro. Wu-Tang Clan knows. They know that they can't blatantly tell you and say it, but they can refer to it in subtle ways. The dialogue in which after he defeats the dude for the #1 headband, but I can even get into that with the #1 headband, because in the fight with dude for the #1 headband, it's only one scene. Afro Samurai ends up cutting this dude up. He cuts off his arms and he cuts off his neck. This dude regenerates. This is the first time you see somebody regenerate throughout the whole anime. It's towards the end of the film, because this is how you know that he's a god. Like, oh, he can't die that easily. He can regenerate. So after that, he shoots his arm into the ground. It comes up right where Afro Samurai is and strikes him right in the head. You know what I'm saying? And goes through him. Hangs him up. He falls lifelessly. But after that, he wakes up. White eyes. Activated. Showing that he's a god too. There was none of this before this in the film. This is when I knew that I had to do a video on this. When I seen this right here, and I was like, oh yeah, this is some deeper shit. Because I just thought, you know, everybody died in the film. Like, if a bullet hit you, you died. You feel me? Like, if a bullet actually hit you somewhere, like in the head, you were out of there in the film. Before this moment. Before this fight scene. Talking about gods. On his way there, he saw the blue faces with the gold teeth and all that. This is where that was at. You feel me? Upon going there, this is when he saw him. It's a deep film. It's talking about eternal. It really is talking about fearlessness. It's talking about melanin. He's a god, but he didn't even have the #1 headband, and he was still a god. He didn't even have, Afro Samurai didn't even have the #1 headband yet, and he still had god powers. We're talking about melanin. It's a black sun there the whole time. The black sun is referring to melanin. As I tell y'all before, these planets in the sky, just a reference of you on the inside. Universe. You-niverse. That's all inside of you, bro. The chakras, all of that. It's all in reference to you. As I tell y'all, it's an illusion. The only thing real is your thought process. You feel me? The only thing real is, you know, what you accept about yourself. As I tell y'all before, I'm going to get into the, you know, circle. Because this is Message to the Alchemist Part 9. Part 4. This is Message to the Alchemist Part 4. I'm going to say that again. Because you have the beginning, you feel me? You have the egg of the woman, the egg. This has a lot to do with everything, man. The egg is a circle. Now, for those that understand, I'm going to be talking about the Divine 9. So the circle is 360 degrees. In numerology, you add up all single numbers until it equals a one number by itself. You feel me? Like, you take them singularly and you add them together. 360. 3 plus 6 and 0 equals 9. So 360-degree angle is a circle. It's a sphere. That's the egg. They talk about the circle of life. They're talking about the egg. Now understand this. When the sperm cell goes inside of the egg, we know about the zinc spark. I've talked about that. The sperm cell is still inside of you. It grows into become your brain. The tail ends up becoming your spinal cord. The egg is your outer appearance. It's your body. That's what that grows into. That's what that grows into. It's your shell, casket, the woman's egg. So, I'm going to be talking about the number 9. We know the 9-month process of birth, giving birth for women. You feel me? And for those that don't know, I noticed this as a youngin'. When I was around 9, funny that I say that, like 9, 10 years old, I would be riding in the car with my mom and I would just look at billboards, you feel me, like on the street, on the way to school. And I would be looking like 1-800-6662-534. You feel me? Like things like that. And I see the numbers and I just add them instantly. I put an 8 on the 1. I put, you know what I'm saying, a 1 on the 8. 9, 9. You feel me? Make everything add up to 9. And I used to always think, why would I do that? It didn't come to me until I did this video right here that I understood and started doing research on the Divine 9. That I understood that, okay, 9 is the highest single digit number. And then after 9, with the process that you're going in, 8, you know what I'm saying, like 7, 8, 9, you add a 1 on that. You start the process over again by having 1 and 0. Then after that would be 1 and 1. 1 and 0 is binary. Binary code. 1, 0, zeros and ones. So that's not the only thing you have with 9. With 9, if you multiply anything by 9, it will end up equaling 9. The Divine 9. It will always show itself. And the 9 itself is similar to Fibonacci sequence, golden spiral. It's all the same. So I also want to mention that the eyes, they've noted the process of, you know, just the birth process, really. They talk about electricity being the beginning of the process. The neurons inside of your body, the cells, small, you feel me, cells, runs off of electricity. Electricity. The process of growing comes from electricity. Where is L? Where is this power coming from? They know. They're mentioning it in front of you. You just not catching it. I've mentioned it. It shouldn't come to this point of me still making videos for people to understand this. Like, L is the reason. Saturn. Setan. Shetan. You feel me? Yahweh. Jesus. Krishna. Allah. Al. You feel me? Bak. Malak. All the same thing. All the same thing. Just different names. It's all referring to an energy. It's all referring to an energy. Let me get into this before I get up out of here. Your brain pushes out 2 things. Pushes out. From your brain comes the eyes. Your eyes are an extension of your brain because they extend out of the brain in the process of the fetus to become the eyes. Understand that. A lot of people just don't get this, man. A lot of people don't get this, bro. So, you can think with your eyes. It's really all a dream. You know what I'm saying? The triangle is referring to, your left brain, right brain, and the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is where your pineal gland is. That's where your Osiris, Isis, and Horus comes from, aka Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. You feel me? Or Mary, God, and Jesus. It's the same process. It's always that trio, So I also want to mention this before I get out of here. The zinc in your brain has been proven that the more zinc you have in your mind, in your brain, it proves that it controls the memory process of your brain. Your memories. Zinc controls the memories. The less zinc you have, for those to be forgettable, they've shown that, zinc is not there for a lot of old people's brains. Like, they have low zinc levels in their brain. So, understand that. The zinc spark at the beginning. The zinc explosion. When the sperm cell enters the egg, the perfect circle egg. 9. Man, the black dot. You feel me? It's so many things you can get into with the circle itself. Just, it's there purposely, man. So, with that being said, like, comment, dislike, peace.